need to find this place or we'll be late.
Make a left on Astrology Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant right. It should be right here. 444 Spearway. Oh, turn.
It looks like Renee. Yay, we're on time. The James and Kellee Show.
Great, let's start the show.
Hi. Hi there. Happy summer.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Happy summer.
It feels like we haven't been together for a long time, but has it been 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks. It's way too long. And then we're going to see each other soon. Thank goodness. Which I'm really looking forward to.
My goodness gracious. Well, good to see you and good to see everybody coming on here, Bob.
Yes.
A lot of new people.
A lot of new people. Angel, that's so sweet. Angel sent my sister the info for tonight, and I shared the info to my Facebook friends. Well, thank you.
Very, very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. Kellee was on right before the show, and I'm still getting over her porcupine story. You got to share that.
Okay. So I had a summer break. James had a summer break, and I did 2 dangerous things. The first thing I did is I did a family reunion. And I'm serious. But that worked out, honest to God. And I know, Carol, if you're watching, it all worked out great. And that part was great. And we went to my little brother Theo's house. And I love Theo. He's wonderful. And you love Theo. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he lives in a place that it was hard for me. He lives in the forest.
So before Kellee goes, have you ever been in a forest?
Have you been in a forest? Yeah.
No, a forest.
A forest, a real forest. Yeah. So he lives in a real forest. And I was barely a farm girl. You know, I'm from Beverly Hills. Let's just not forget that part, okay? Moved to a farm that's just remote. And then I go into the forest. And I have to tell you, it was something else. I was anxious, made me very anxious.
Growth period for you.
Oh my God. I learned a lot about myself. I'm not a forester. I'm not a forest girl, but it was very funny.
I could sleep that night.
Well, so the first night I go to sleep, and my little granddaughter Lulu, who's 3 years old, she wanted to sleep with me. She's like, "Oh, Gigi, I want to sleep with you," and I'm like, "Okay, I can't wait. You can sleep with me, and we'll snuggle." And it was so great. And the first night at 3 a.m, she wakes me up and she goes, Gigi, wake up. And I'm like, what? Is everything okay? She goes, no, there's a porcupine in our room. And I'm like, what? She goes, no, I'm just kidding.
And he said, get out. Get out.
Go sleep with your mom. Put the joke's on her. You know. But here's the other thing that happened, James, which I didn't tell you. That morning we woke up, and as I get out of bed, and I don't have, you kind of fuzzy in the morning, and I look down and I said, what? This is not good. I look down and I see 3 things that I can't identify. And so I start calling for my daughter who's in the bathroom. And I'm like, Holiday, get over here now. Come on, I need your help. It's an emergency. She's like, what? I go, I don't know. Just get over here. She's like, I'm in the bathroom. I said, anyway, she comes running in, and we look down, and there are 3 black wasps right under my feet. So Holiday takes a shoe, and she gets them, and then she turns to Lulu, who's 3 years old, and says, Lulu, get the Kleenex. And Lulu goes, on it. And she grabs the Kleenex. And this little one she's a hoot. I mean, she is such a funny kid.
And I know, from knowing you all these many years, if I say, Kellee, there's 3 wild, you say, totem.
Yeah, totem. Well, yeah.
What was the totem?
Yeah, it was definitely a totem. I was too having a panic attack to look in the, and all my years of meditation didn't calm me down for that. Yeah, so I don't do wild. I don't do anything in the wild. But
if you stepped on those wasps, it would have been a whole different story.
It would have been a whole different story. Yeah. But it was a great trip. Aside from the wild animals and everything, it was a great trip. And I have to tell you, Michigan is beautiful. Have you ever been to Michigan?
I have been to Michigan. It is very beautiful.
Beautiful state. My gosh, just stunning. And
I've been to major cities, not in the forest.
Not in the forest. So they have beaches there. I couldn't believe it. But it was fun. They have beautiful beaches. And James, they have cherry pie.
Oh, that's nice.
It was so good. That was the best part.
Hello, Donna Marin. Hello there from Ontario, Canada. And Margaret. The wasp totem. Yes, the wasp. We've got to find out what the wasp totem is now.
I have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. Oh my God. So, and how were you? Weren't you? You were gone too, right?
I was. Where was I? I was back in New York at a family reunion, right? I did that. Yeah. And where else was I? Oh gosh, I don't know. I've been all over the place. I don't remember.
Oh my God! And then you had some friends come and visit.
Oh, that's what I had. Yeah, my friends. My friend Chip came down with his 2 dogs who are Pearl's sisters from the first generation, Rosie. And the reason I got Pearl was because of Rosie, and I hit it off really, really well. And this is 2 years ago, and Rosie was like on me on my bed. She wouldn't leave me alone. And Chip said, "Am I losing my dog to you?" And that's when I.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Pearl. So they came down. The first time I've seen them since. Pearl's never met them. Rosie gets out of the car and jumps right at me and does not stop. She remembers me perfectly.
So she imprinted on you.
She imprinted. Wow. Decided to deal with that and Pearl also. So who's the alpha? He's mine. He's not yours. And
so you had your own wild kingdom going.
Interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting week, I must say. And the other one, Emma, yeah, she was great, but I was ready for them to go, and so was Pearl, because after the 3rd day, after the 4th day, Pearl was just staying behind, and I was hanging out with her. The children in front of us. It's like, okay, go ahead. We're just chill.
Oh,
so, it was fun. It was really fun. Did a barbecue and had a some pool party, like some friends over. And summer is finally here in San Diego, so it's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. DeCamp Stone says, Kellee, you must have been in Traverse City. I was there, and Traverse City is amazing. It's a great place. That whole area is fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And Bob Simmons from upstate New York, curious where, because I was in Rochester just recently, and then of course I've been in Hyde Park and Poughkeepsie and Rhinebeck.
Yes.
I told you the story about the lady I met in the plane on the way back from New York.
Okay, tell everybody a story. It's a great story.
I don't know if I told them that or not. It's a great story. It's a weird story. It's one of those weird things. The past 2 or 3 weeks, Kellee, it's been weird energy.
Oh, we'll go through the energy. Yeah, weird. It has been really odd.
So I was that first weekend of cancellations of flights, and I was trying to get back from Rochester to San Diego, and I had to go through Detroit or Chicago. Well, to make a long story short, that flight was canceled, and I waited from 6 a.m. till 6 o'clock at night to get a flight on to Detroit. And I was so thrown that I looked at the board and said Detroit, and I said, okay, it's at 6:15, it's delayed. I got there at the gate right before, and they said, this isn't your flight. Your flight was 2 gates down, and it just left. Having to have 2 flights to Detroit. Said, oh, this one had been delayed for a long time. So can I get on? So I got on it. Made it to Detroit in plenty of time, because a flight coming in from wherever was 3 hours delayed. So I was fine. So to make a long story short, I got my flight at 10:30 at night, and I'm sitting there in business class, and this lady comes in. I said, oh, hello. She goes, hi. And she gets in, and I said, wow, travel day, huh? She goes, oh my God, I can't tell you how many planes. And I said, where'd you come from? She said, I came from upstate New York, Rhinebeck, New York. She goes, never heard of a place called Omega. And I said, I have. I used to teach there. She goes,
I was on staff there.
It was hysterical. She goes, what did you I went to something, I don't know if you heard, it's called mediumship. I said, yeah, I know about mediumship. And I said, I created that program there. And she goes, huh? She didn't know who I was or anything. And I started telling her. And as I'm thinking, these phases, her face changes, all these morphing, like popping in her head. And I said, I have a movie about me, Ted Danson. She goes, what? I said, yeah, it's based on book Talking to Heaven. She goes, huh? I said, yeah, I'm something there. I've done that work. And she was like, so next thing I know, she's downloading the TV show, that movie. And as every once in a while, I look over and there's Ted Danson, and there I am, and like, oh, there's Mary. And I'm like, I remember that scene. And I'm watching this lady's face, and she's like, her profile. So, and I'm helping her with my school. Like, usually wants to know all this stuff. So I have all this information for you. There's a school site. I've done all this stuff. And she was just, you can imagine, blown away.
Oh, totally.
The movie's over, and it's like 3 hours in or whatever it was. I know the great part is the very, very end of that movie, and it's the whole revelation. So I know what happens. I'm looking over there, and she takes down her earphones, and she looks at me, she goes, huh? And I said, yeah. She goes, I said, you enjoy the ending? Was it amazing? She goes, no, I'm really scared.
Oh,
right now that after this stuff is real, and you're sitting right next to me.
She must have been blown away.
Blown away. Can you imagine? No. I said, well, it's divine intervention. You know, where it took for them to move planes around to get things.
Right.
So we could be sitting together, and I mean, it's just nice.
Right. I mean, the odds of you missing your flight like that.
The odds of all of us. I was just thinking about that before we came on. I went to, wash my hands and do something in the bathroom. I thought, isn't that interesting? We have that one thought that I have to go do something. And if you follow through with what you're thinking and do it, you never know. You can avoid a lot of disasters. Something could have happened between my time there.
I believe that all the time.
It's you have to go that little voice within and really listen.
My flight, as you know, was canceled also.
Oh,
Took
sure.
me 12 hours to get home. It was a nightmare. I canceled a lot of my trips and had to get home. And of course, this was before I had done the astrology on it, saying this is the worst week to travel. And I knew
That's
it.
right.
And it was the worst week to travel. For me, it was just awful. But I finally got home, but my luggage ended up in Madison. I ended up in Chicago. I couldn't get out. And I called you. You said, go to Bubbles. Bubbles was closed at the
Bubbles
airport.
closed.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never seen Bubbles closed in Chicago.
It was
ever.
strange. It was just a strange thing, but I
It was
kept thinking, just put your patience on. It's what happening for a reason. And actuality, Don and I got to have a wonderful dinner at our favorite restaurant in Chicago. So when it all
Don came
worked out.
pick you up
Don
and drive
drove the several hours to pick me up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you never know what you avoided when those things happen. We got to know that
No.
we're after and that we're taking
Absolutely.
care of. Again, it's another control thing too, because what can
Yeah.
you do? And
Enjoy a nice martini, which is what I did.
That's what I did too. Yeah. It really is nerve wracking nowadays, travel anyway. I mean, it's just so nerve wracking.
It
And there's
is.
so many different aspects to it, and all these different things going on with people and airlines. So it's just a weird energy out there. So,
Yeah, it is.
speaking of weird energy, how's astrology looking?
Okay. Well, let me just tell you. I'll tell you. I've got a few things here, but let's just start with today and tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, I want everybody to know that Mercury, the planet of communications, is going uber fast right now, like really, really fast. And so today and tomorrow, Mercury is going to be aspecting and squaring some major players here: Pluto and the South and North Node, Rahu and Ketu. And when this happens today and tomorrow, I want everybody to watch their thoughts. So it's interesting, James, that we're doing a show on meditation, because really this is, you have to watch your negative thoughts. You can't let fear control anything. So, and you'll be kind of tested. So today's a test day. Today and tomorrow will be test days.
It's amplifying our thoughts.
That's correct. It's amplifying
all the way up. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you will be feeling, because people keep calling and texting me saying, what's going on with this energy? I'll tell you, here's 3 other big things that we have too. And this is what makes July a busy, busy, busy month. So as we know, as I've mentioned, Saturn is retrograde. So Saturn's going to be retrograde until November.
Excuse me, Kellee, is Mercury retrograde as well? Or is it
No,
direct?
Mercury's not. Fortunately not.
Thank
but
God. Okay.
It's Saturn's retrograde, which will be looking at what needs to change in your life.
Right. Your past, dealing
Your
with
past, literally, what do you need to change?
Yeah.
Okay. Neptune is also retrograde. And Neptune makes us, we take off the rose-colored glasses when Neptune is retrograde. So what that means is if you are, drugs, alcohol, addictions of anything, you'll be looking at it. I'll tell you that. Or if you know people in your life you won't be able to pretend it isn't happening anymore. So
just happened to me in my life a week ago.
Really interesting. Okay.
No, was alcoholic and didn't.
Oh,
was
that's right.
Call it dry drunk. And
that's
behavior, inappropriate behavior, and how to say no. That's not appropriate. You can't.
That is Neptune retrograde. That's it.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
and
not time for it.
And there's no time for it.
It's got to move forward, not stay stagnant.
Oh my God, is that true?
Yeah.
Well, the third thing that's coming up is Venus is going to be retrograde. And Venus goes retrograde July 22nd, but we're already in the current of the retrograde. Okay, so Venus goes retrograde every 18 months.
Kellee, what sign will be?
It's going to be in Leo in Vedic astrology.
Leo. Okay.
And so Leo is the self. Leo's about, the ego. It's about yourself. Right. And so you really, because Venus is also about relationships, but it's in Leo, you're going to be looking at what is good for you in a relationship.
Kellee can also translate to like how much you love yourself or how much you don't love yourself.
Absolutely. Self-esteem, James, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. This is going to evoke powerful feelings in people, okay, during this period. And it's going to go, and it will be until September, I think September 5th. I mean, this lasts several days, like 40, 45 days, lasts a long time. And if you look at your life, if you can even remember 8 years ago, during July, August, and September, so it'd be 2015, that's the same retrograde that we have now. So if you can remember 2015,
I
What
can't
was your?
breakfast, Kelly. Are you
I
kidding?
know. I understand. And during this retrograde period with Venus, relationships are going to come up for review. Okay,
Very
so
interesting.
yes, some will be renegotiated.
And there might be
Some
an opportunity for relations to start, I would think.
it's not a good time for starting a relationship.
Thank you for the warning. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a good time for that. And it's if you are somebody that likes to do plastic surgery or Botox or any of the beauty things, this is not a good time for that. So
Wow.
you don't want to be doing anything beauty wise for Venus retrograde. But it is a great time to get involved with your own emotions and do emotional healing. So this next 3 months are really powerful times to heal traumas, wounds, anything. It's a great time for healing. So that's what's going on now.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's
Wow.
not.
Wow, it's incredible that tonight we're talking about meditation. So
It's a great thing for meditation, especially when your mind starts to, monkey mind.
yeah, and especially now when things are so crazy and nuts, it's good to learn and know about how being centered and still yourself.
Yes.
And now more than ever, I mean, I do that with the airports. At the airport, I sat down how to breathe, just get back to my grounding, centering. So,
Well, tell us, how did you decide to do a meditation class?
yeah. So this is based. Tonight we're doing a lot about my brand new spiritual meditation course. And I think is Renee here. I'm not sure if Renee is here.
Oh yeah, where was the situation? Renee will.
Okay.
He'll be back as soon as he.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Um,
That's fine. So it started with for years, a couple of years now. I wanted to do 3 years. I'd say people would write and say, "How can I be still? How can I center myself? How all these different questions? How can I ground myself? How do I not get caught in what's going on out there? I'm a sensitive, an empath. How do I stop picking this stuff up?" So I thought I got to put all that together and create a course about it. And this the spirituality of meditation came in, and I worked with this lady, Kellee Brown, who did a lot for Hay House and other authors, and she and I've been working on this, and I went to the studio, recorded all the audios. I've had a producer come and shoot a lot of it with me, and it's pretty incredible, I must say. So I'm really happy about that. So it's a spiritual journey through meditation, and I cover everything. I mean, and things you would not think about. So part of what meditation is, the numerous benefits of developing meditative practice, overcome obstacles in starting and maintaining a meditation practice. So I mean, I have highlights I can just share throughout the night.
yeah.
Okay, but there's a lot of stuff that.
Oh, here we go, James.
Yeah, here it is.
Every time you sit and practice, you'll discover something new, whether it's about yourself, the world we live in, and the choices that you make, and the people in your life. So be open to anything that happens and everything that happens. Through meditation and sitting in the stillness, you're going to have a new sense of awareness of who you truly are as a soul living on this earth. This is work of the heart. We're going to learn to live heart forward, and that's what this is about. It's not work. It's beauty. It's fun. It's amusement. It's love. It's feeding your soul. This is all about you. It's your own practice. This meditation process and this practice will change your life. You're no longer living in limitations and fear. You're able to express who you truly are. You will change not only yourself, but the world.
Wow.
Very
wow.
proud
Wow.
of that. Very proud.
You
of
should
that.
be. It's beautiful. And your house shows so well. And it's
my gardens,
amazing.
I designed that. And a girl who shot that drone shot was a producer who was here shooting a documentary on horses.
Wow.
And as a thank you, she did that drone of my property, of all the gardens I created as a thank you to me.
Oh,
We used that in meditation. And
it's
like,
beautiful.
a lot of people worked on that. You can tell it's very passionate, and it really is a wonderful course. And it's I was thinking about it today. When we do a demonstration at night or do some readings at night, during the day of mediumship, you're kind of thinking in your mind, you're opening up your mind, you're clearing your space. And today I was thinking tonight I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about my course. I'm going to talk about meditation, the benefits, and so forth. And all of a sudden I had this vision. It was so interesting. And it was almost like raindrops on a glass. When raindrops on a glass, it's kind of foggy, kind of smoky. Yeah. And meditation clears away those droplets and makes it clear.
It does, James. It does.
Like 2010 vision, it becomes very clear. The fog is lifted, and you see things much clearer. And that hit me today. I love that analogy.
That's a wonderful analogy.
It really works well. You take away the fog. You see things for who you are authentically, and what you have to do to let go of the obstacles, and how to get from the head to the heart. That's really what it is. Get
Yeah.
your head apart.
I mean, really, that stillness is everything.
It's in the quiet. In my development, I've learned from many teachers, masters, and I remember certain sayings. The quiet is very loud, and I remember like highlights of sitting in the stillness of your being, and you learn to just ground and center yourself. And it's not hard to do. If you can breathe, you can do it. It's taking your breath, using your breath, and running the breath, and being part of that breath. And it's not limited to the physical body. Going to the earth world and the spirit world, the spiritual dimensions, the world above us, the fields above us, if you will, and around us. And you see yourself as this beautiful diamond who's here to learn and process. And it's getting out of that judgment of the head and getting to the heart where the seat of the soul is. So it's seeing things from a soul perspective. That's the whole course, is the soul perspective meditation.
I was reading today, James. I was reading, I think it was, I can't remember, it was Beautiful Road Home or Heal Thyself. I can't remember. It was one of these two. And they were talking about in meditation, if you could see yourself sitting in meditation, you are this star and the energy goes way, way, way out. And they said, it doesn't matter what kind of person you are. It doesn't matter. Your energy goes way, way, way out.
It's true.
I just love that.
It's true. Yeah. The quiet mind, it's our Bible that we use, White Eagle. It's power of thought. See, we were just talking about that. Just open to a page. It's power of thought. So I have to read that. A disciple of the master must gain a measure of control over his or her thoughts. We suggest that you start by taking yourselves to hand and asserting your mastership over the details of everyday life. Don't let your body do exactly what it wants, or your brain either. Assert your power of command over body and mind. Thus, discipline will grow to be a habit.
It's the truth. I for many, many, many years, I mean, I meditate every day as you do, every day. I mean, I start my day that way. In fact, let me ask you, where should people begin? You think for me, it's in the morning.
It really depends on each person. It's so different for each person. I tend to, and it's different for everyone. People practice in the morning, in the afternoons, whatever it feels right. I'm gonna cover that in the course, and it's different for every person. It's really, for me personally, I know you too. You like to have a certain time you sit every day.
I do. I plan that with spirit, and I just go in, and for me, it's real good routine.
I did every afternoon. So
you do afternoon, okay?
Yeah, and it's sitting in the quiet, and I could be outside in the quiet. I could be out in a deck. I could be I could even be in a pool. I could be in a garden. I could be at the beach. It's getting in that space. It doesn't matter where you are. Just getting in that breath, getting the rhythm, and going from the inside out. Really, what it is, inside out. It's living from the inside out, and you can do that anywhere. But I wouldn't make it so regimented if the person isn't made that way.
If they're not made that way, for sure.
Yeah. And be open to all different experiences. Don't try to control the outcome, the experience. It's just an experience. So just be open to the moments, of that experience. So don't control things, just let things go. It's all about letting things go, letting things flow, because energy flows through us. And we can stop that flow by our thoughts, by obstacles, by thinking. That stops the flow of energy. So we want to be aware that when we stop that flow, we're going to bring ourselves back. Oh, that monkey mind. Oh my God, there it is. Just acknowledge the monkey mind and then just let it go. Just drift off or go back to your breath. Go back to the rhythm. Go back to your rhythm. The movement to the breath. Because the movement of the breath is emotion, is the energy that's flowing through the body. See that prana. And I have some great meditations. I'd like to do one maybe from the course, actually, if we could. And it's a meditation, which is it's kind of a healing meditation. So
great. Perfect timing for that.
Okay. So everybody, I'm not going to play any music, and I don't know if Pearl's going to bark, but whatever it is what it is, right? So we're just going to close our eyes, and I'm going to turn off my camera for just a second here and let myself get into that space. Great. And as you close your eyes to the outside world, the intention is to open them to the inner world, your inner world of golden light. Look at life from the inside out, not the outside in. And as you set that intention, we become aware of the physical body, not judging it, but just being aware of our feet and our legs, our backs, our shoulders and our arms, our neck, our head, becoming aware of the inhalation and exhalation of breath. Become aware of how the body feels. Just acknowledge any aches or pains or whatever we feel emotionally, ups or downs or all arounds. Just become aware of the space. And as you become aware of the space, give yourself permission to just be. Just to be. Whatever's going to happen, happens. And as we inhale,
We use that inhalation to bring us back to the heart, the space of the soul. And just by having that thought, we can go there. And as you exhale, we set the intention that as we exhale out of our mouths, we release and let go that which holds us back. No longer needing to control anything, just letting it be. So as we inhale, imagine now that you are part of a beautiful string of lights, a beautiful yellow golden light near the very end. But the very top of the string of lights is very, very, very bright. And that higher energy that at the very end wants to feed the lower part of you. So imagine now, as you inhale, you open up the roadway, you open up the circuitry, you open up the path for the higher voltage to come down to the lower self and to light it up. So together, let's imagine this beautiful light current of light energy coming from the ethos, from the highest self, all the way down to the lower self. And inhale and exhale and let it go, and let it go, and let it go. And we open up our minds to just feel in the moment, just be in the moment. You are a soul, first and foremost, and a soul is love. In your own way, become aware of a mantra and just repeat to yourself that mantra. I love you, whatever it might be. And imagine again that beautiful golden light coming into the body. And inhale and exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Good. And inhale and exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Good. And now imagine all around you a beautiful rings of light, golden green light. And this sphere all around you is a beautiful golden green light. It's almost as if a cape is with you. And within this cape, your energy, this gold green light, is a healing light from the divine. And you realize that your heart, this space is pure green and radiates in front of you and all around you as it sets up this field of healing energy, healing oracle space. And the more you allow the imagination to open up the space, the larger it becomes, the more it expands. And there becomes an awareness that you are looking down the body, from the top of the head all the way down, a vantage point above you. And you're able to move in with that beautiful light into the crown chakra and travel through the body and just become aware of any obstructions, any restrictions in the body, from the head to the eyes, the inside out. How does the energy flow? Are there any obstacles, any old memories, any old traumas that hold back that flow of prana? Become aware of space around the throat area, the lungs, the arms, shoulders. How does it feel? What does it look like? Become aware too that in your other hand, you have a beautiful imaginary wand of healing light that you touch an area, it opens up that space and brings balance to imbalance, brings love to fear, brings the connection of divine, who you are. You remember your heritage and scan through the body now, the abdominal area and the lower area, intestines and so forth, the reproductive area and back. Check out the back area, muscles and spine, any areas there that are not in balance, any areas that are holding energy, which is not yours, it might belong to somebody else. The first step of healing is awareness, becoming aware of whose energy is in your space. Going down the pelvic area and then down the legs one at a time. Become aware of any energies you may have there. Good, good. And now as you become aware, once again, you're outside the body looking down. Become aware from this aerial point of view that there are beautiful rings of healers all around you, making a circle, sending you beautiful healing energy, balance, emerald green, beautiful light, bringing balance and peace, harmony to disharmony, love to fear, bringing you back to your origin. You are now aware that you are a soul, and all of your thoughts create a beautiful healing atmosphere as your healing guides surround you and assist you in this space. And as you become aware of these healing guides all around you, there seems to be a hierarchy of beings, a row and then another row and then another row, feeding all that. And you become aware as you step even further back, looking down, that there is infinite amount of love and healing being channeled like in a staircase sent your way. You are divine. You are light. You are love. And so it is. And slowly open up your eyes and show your beautiful, shining, healing self.
That was great.
There's a bunch of good ones in there. There are over 20 different meditations I've never done before. There's one about the spheres, meeting the spheres, beings of the spheres. There's one about the family, meeting your family in a certain place. All different ones I've never done. So really, it's pretty incredible.
Wow, people loved it, James. Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah. Wow, everybody's must love that. right there with you. Yeah. Thank you. A lot of people loving this. So is that something then that when they have this course, they'll be able to do lots of different meditations that you have?
Yeah. So there's ways of sitting in the stillness, and these are the bullet points of the course here. I talk about audience triggers, feeling lost, feeling bombarded by negative messages, feeling drained, looking for truth, feeling unsure about their lives, seeking spiritual guidance, understanding themselves and a deeper connection to the higher self. Want more confidence and affirmation that they are on the right path, want to expand in some way, in need of a tool or way to cope in an insecure world to feel secure and safe. This is just things that, that's the first lesson.
I love that one. It feels safe in the
Believe
world.
in a higher power, something greater than ourselves. Believe there are benefits in investing in their personal and spiritual development, because a lot of people don't want to do that. Believe in your own psychic abilities as well. No previous knowledge of meditation is required. Perfect for newbies. So the different lessons, lesson 1 is sitting in the stillness of your being. Lesson 2, journey to the reconnecting with your soul self. And that was a trip and a half, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I just sat and let spirit work with me. And it was a ride, and it was a good ride. So that's a real good one, that lesson 2. Lesson 3 is opening your heart center to access higher wisdom. We did a little bit of that tonight.
Yeah.
Lesson 4 is transcend the mind, grounding, calming, and focusing the monkey mind. Lesson 5 is spiritual tools to heighten your daily practice. You know, how to practice every day. And because some people find it's a chore, it doesn't have to be a chore.
No.
Okay. You don't necessarily have to sit in the same place every day. You don't have to, but it's just a remembrance of getting into that centered self.
It's a remembrance. Yes.
Yeah. If you get the choices we make in life, if you're coming from a choice of your soul self, then you're making the right choice. But if you come from your head, you can be guessing yourself.
Absolutely.
Mind gets in the way.
That's the difference. No, you're absolutely right.
We're learning to know who you are.
Patricia Aldana says, how many minutes for beginners are recommended to sit in the quiet before sleeping?
It's different with each person, but I say a minimum of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, focus on the breath. And that's just the beginning. You just focus on the breath. The monkey mind will happen, especially if you're brand new to it. But the breath you always have had and always will have. It's the energy of life. So you just become familiar with that and become connected with the breath and behave like you love the breath. Have a relationship with your breath.
Right.
It sustains life. So we talk all about that as well.
Okay. Lori Letterby says, do you have any suggestions on doing meditation when you are grieving? It's really hard to concentrate.
Sure. So that's fine. It's just, in a way, you put things in their space. So grieving is number 1. So realize that there is no death, that your mind is going to ask them to be around you, which they are. And so you're juggling a lot of things at once, and you're trying to be still when your mind is always focused on those who passed over. So it's hard to get in that complete stillness. And that's okay. If you go into it realizing that, you got mind by being interrupted by a loved one, that's fine. But overall, you're getting involved with the breath. You know, I would maybe wait a little bit before you start it, because I think that's a lot to deal with at one time. What do you think, Kellee?
Oh, I think it's a lot. Yeah. Grieving is a lot. On the other hand, when you're meditating, your loved ones are right there with you.
So you'll have a clearer connection with them.
Yeah.
And you become aware of the space. You have more intently to be aware of that space around you. Mm-hmm. But remember, when you do that, though, you can't force them to come.
it's almost like a passive activism. You've got to sit quietly and softly, and the softer you are, the more you can hear them, because it's subtle. It's very subtle movements. It's soft. It's not hard. They can be very soft and gentle. Best way to describe it. You think?
So our friend David Vigiano, hi David.
Hi,
He
David.
says, "Wow, James, that was amazing." He says, "Towards the end of the meditation, my dog, who has been hiding underneath my bed for the past 30 minutes, came out. He sat next to me on the couch and began licking my hand and my arm while I was still sitting there with my eyes closed. Do you think he knew I was asking for healing and to come out to assist?"
Yes, definitely, without a doubt, David. Without a doubt, they're so tuned in. They're so tuned in beyond us. They're very tuned in. So it's all energy. So the dog is tuned into that higher frequency, and your brain waves. We do meditation. It brings up those brain waves, or depending, you can go down too, right, Kelly? You
Yes.
go down or up. But
Yeah.
most meditations that do it's a heightened awareness, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
But it slows the brain waves down. And so it's very calming and very peaceful. It's great to relax. It's just
and
great to
center
connect
and
with your
grounding.
soul. Yeah.
It's so important because, like cancellation of those air flights, and it could have drove us crazy.
Yeah.
But we have the tools of stillness, of being aware, that awareness that we don't get caught up in the fury of it, the craziness, which is
Well,
out there
it's really interesting because I hadn't been with my sister a long time, and we were together, and she said, I have to tell you, Kelly, you really are very calm. Now, I was, kind of panicked being in the woods, but she said to me, you're very calm. Your essence is really very calm. I've been meditating for years, James, years and years, and I think it's the greatest thing that anybody can do for themselves.
And she's open, she's progressed in her own way, that she's able to see that now. She's being aware of that energy that's calmer.
Yeah. It's so sweet. Ellen Fuller says, "What do you think about using a mantra or a chant for meditating?"
I have that in one of the lessons here about making your own chant. I think it's great that it's a kind of an idea. It's more of a reminder, if you will, to get yourself centered. So that's really what it's about. I have Pearl here, wanted to talk.
Hi, Pearl. Does she want to say something?
She's trying to get my
Is she?
She
Vicky
feels the
Nason.
energy, and she just wants to be part of that. She's a puppy,
Oh,
so she
of
wants to be part of that
course.
energy. I gave
Hi,
her a phone.
Pearl.
She'll be eating a file soon.
Oh my God. Vicky Nason says, "Thank you, James. Your voice is
welcome.
so calming. You have a sincere and beautiful heart. I appreciate you and all you do for us."
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Christy Dixon Pride. "I've been having the best meditations with your course, James."
Oh,
my
good.
gosh,
Very good.
She
Very
says,
good.
"Sometimes I come out of them and tears are rolling as I feel so connected to spirit guides. Truly beautiful."
It doing this course, it made me go deeper and deeper, and I came out crying a lot of time too. And even the studio, when I was doing the audios for it, I was crying a lot. And the engineer said, "Mr. Van Prague, are you okay?"
Oh.
But it brings up all the stuff, and these, it's a healing course, and it brought up a lot of stuff for me. So I was just, it's a very, that's why I'm so
it's a healing horse. It's a healing,
and it's something that someone would get so caught up in the everyday life and the fear and the craziness out there. We don't want to do that. We want to remember who we are. We're souls having a human experience.
Right on. Absolutely true. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Renee Hansel. She says,
Hi,
question.
Renee.
How do you feel about meditation with hemisync? I find it helpful for when I feel unable to be still.
Right. So that's very valuable, Renee. I love hemisync. So hemisync is balancing the two hemispheres of the brain, and it's a certain sounds that do that, and it helps in assisting you to get to that space. No doubt about it. So yeah, I've used hemisync before for many different types of things. Yeah. Anything that can help you with, even if it's light music or a breeze, or if you want to do it the same place every day, the practice. It's a practice. It's not an end result there. It's a practice, a progression. It's an awareness of yourself as a soul. Again, it's more having that relationship with your soul self. Even development of the medium. The most important part for me was the development part, because I understood who I was as a soul. I know myself from the inside out. I'm a soul, and I know what that means. I'm having a soul in case the physical body, but this is a very small part of who I am. So much more than this little part.
Kathy Miller says, "Can doing this course interfere with a VNS implant?" I don't know what that is. What does a VNS implant mean?
Would it be something for the brain? I think. Hertz frequency, good to use. Yes. Also it can assist yourself. And that's great. But I believe everybody has that power within them to breathe, because we all breathe. And it's really an easy type of thing to do is just get with a breath. It's just really because we use it every day. And so if you start entering things in there, I got to do this way, I got to turn this on, you start getting out of the control. You're not going to do it because there's so many things to worry about. So I love the KISS, concept.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah,
It's
I do too.
it's so good.
Just Camp Dons. Through regular meditation, I've been able to get off my blood pressure medication. Wow.
Perfect.
I have a history of anxiety and I've been feeling so good. Bravo. That's amazing.
Bravo. That's exactly what it does. It calms us down. It brings us back to normalcy. It gets us out of the head, into the heart. It helps with aging as well. It helps with diet, aging, blood pressure, stress levels, anxiety levels. It's really benefits.
And dementia. It helps with your brain with dementia.
True.
As you get older. Julie Ingalls, I've been focused on meditating for a certain number of minutes, but having just experienced this with you, I felt a very perfect peace and healing without setting a clock. Wow. She said, I have a challenge with the monkey mind, and this was easier for me to sort of acknowledge it, yet not focus on it. Oh, Julie, that's great.
Very good, Julie. And that's exactly what you're saying is exactly right. Because if we have a clock, we have to meet that. And our brains have been time as the meditation is over. So you're not going to be in the moment of the meditation. So you're allowing yourself to experience it. And your higher self will know when to stop. When it's time to stop, you'll know. You don't have to have a clock to tell you. And like you said, it feels fuller. The experience feels much fuller and more, or you're in the moment. You're living every essence of that moment through meditation because you're connected. You're connected.
Exactly.
How often are we living this life every day? We're not connected. And before you know it, it's 7:00 at night or whatever. It's like, what did the day go by? Because we weren't living in the moments where our mind was somewhere else. So get you back to that centering, which is so important.
It sure does. Oh my gosh. Which gets you grounded. So Shelley says, does the course have a meditation or tips in meditating to heal our body areas?
It certainly does. There's a whole thing in the course on healing the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. And it's really, really interesting. That one thing I did tonight with the scanning, I really go into detail with that. And that's a really good one, that you feel the energy. And I put it in the course at such a place that you're already aware of what energy is. You're aware of how the energy shifts in your fields. You're aware of focused energy. You become aware of what energy feels like. So you know when it's not your energy in your space. I call it programs, when it's your program or someone else's program, because so many of us live other people's lives because their energy is on us, and we haven't translated that energy to realize that's somebody else's. So it helps to know when your programming is not yours, it's someone else's, and then you can let it go.
So true. So true. Oh my gosh. Donna Morin says, is your course focused more on beginners for meditation or valuable for those already practicing?
For both. So it's great reminders, people that are practicing, or you've never worked with me before. So it's a whole different insight but it's not a regular meditation course. It's a spiritual meditation course. Now, I don't know what that means, but I just know it comes from a space of learning to develop my mediumship and sitting with the soul self. And that's where it's derived from. And the beings did that. So just quickly, I'm going to go over those lessons again. Spiritual tools to heighten your daily practice. Here's a good one. Lesson 6, physiology of sitting in stillness, balancing the chakra points for physical, mental, and emotional healing. What this looks like.
Wow.
Then next is scanning, sensing, and running energy. And then we have lesson 8, transforming your life, discover the eternal and incredible power of you.
Wow.
So that's just, those are the different lessons.
I love this. Kathy Miller says, I'm a Reiki master and a chakra teacher, and you've already helped me so much.
Great.
I think that's great. Jen Chris asks, well, hold on a second. She says, when buying the course, can you go through it more than once in case you miss something?
100%. And I suggest you do, because you go by the second time, you have a different life experience since you first started that. So whether you had a course 2 years before or 5 years ago, go back to it and look at it and redo that course, because you'll have different insights and different awareness.
Right. Vivian Lesser, do you recommend walking meditations?
Vivian, I do it every day. For me, it works. And so if it works for you, then do it. There's no one way, right way, wrong way. It's up to really where you are, how you can get that centered space and that grounding space. And if it's done through walking, like I do as well, then that's great. I do it through watering plants as well. But I'm always aware of that center when I'm connected to Mother Earth, whether it's walking or watering the garden or just lying on the grass or being under a tree. I kept that centeredness. Again, that's so
you maintain an awareness,
and it's an awareness and a still awareness, which sounds kind of weird, but it's not only you just get to a point where you don't let things bother you as much because you're aware. It's that whole thing, Kellee, about observation mode, stepping out and watching it, just like we did in the meditation, which, by the way, that was pretty cool.
It was great.
That came from popping out of the head, looking down. And I know everyone could have seen themselves looking down.
Yeah.
So that's really a great way to get into that space. We're going to do a lot of that in the cruise, by the way. When a lot of that, and that aerial view of looking down at us, that's going to be part of the cruise. Yeah.
That's going to be so great on the
really
water with
cool.
that. It's going to be
yeah.
fantastic. Okay. Shannon Starr says, James, do you recommend Setsin crystals for meditation? I don't know what Setsin is, but
I do talk about various the room for meditation. I talk about objects you might have to enhance your experience in meditation, certain crystals, Stetson crystals for a deeper connection. Whatever works for you. And I go through this in one of the courses about this, setting the stage of your room, of the things that will help you to remind you to get to the center. And if that works for you, that reminds you that this will help me get in tune or attune, then go for it.
Shannon Reese says, Kellee and James, I've been wanting to thank you from my soul. I meditate all through the day. I'm a medium, and I've connected with my twins in the spirit realm. The love, the peace, and joy. Oh, Shannon.
That's great.
That's
great,
wonderful.
great, Shannon. That's wonderful, sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Kathy Pat Mooney, I feel so relaxed and re-motivated when done listening to your meditation.
Thank you. And all it is just I'm here, and I believe it's my job, my mission. I decided, Kellee, again, after the raindrops analogy, then I got to realize I was lying on the dog with my dog in the bed, and I realized it. We're on missions, our soul mission. Yeah. We all come down here for missions. Yes. So my soul mission is to make people aware and remember who they are. Yes. And that's why I'm there. It's just me reminding you, I'm holding up a mirror to you. This is really who you are. It's not who you think you are. It's who you are. Yeah. And, we all have missions to accomplish. That's why we came down here.
So true, we do. Oh my God.
We do spacewalking. We do a whole bunch of different things here.
Donna Johnson Edwards. Lots of times when I'm meditating, I fall asleep in the middle and wake up near the end. Still feel that I was very deep in the meditation.
Right. So the soul will get it. So the conscious mind might not be aware of it, but at deeper levels, you're receiving it. So on soul levels, you're receiving it. And that might show itself in the next week, the next couple of days, the next week, the next month. It does work. It really does. So you're getting it on another level.
Oh, totally. MTV Media says, so powerful. You're a master meditator. I've been meditating my whole entire life, and this course is like none other. Thank you, kind soul. Texas-sized blessings to you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you very much. That's so great. That's really kind, and I appreciate that. It's a great course. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is your course focused more on the beginners? Okay, so it's for everybody. Practice, it can enhance your practice. It's a different way of practicing, so it will enhance what you're already doing. And for beginners, it's a great way to start as far as connecting with the focus of yourself, of your breath. And that's really what it's about in that soul self.
Laurel Davies says, I just found a person's energy that was in my way, and I divested it out during that meditation.
Perfect. That's all you have to remember. Thoughts are things. So if you hold, a psychic once said to me, if you hold the thought for 3 seconds, it's yours. Great. And it's so true. So, you can take out that energy, pull it out and send it love, but send it on its way and clear out the space. And I many times will clear out my space, even physically.
You do that several times a day, though.
Yes. And I do it physically, but I'm also releasing emotional self, the energetic self, the spiritual self, and being more aware of that. I do a weird thing where I have the sun rays come down and illuminate these like flowers above me, the doorways to the other fields. Ooh. Yeah, it's wild. Sacred geometry stuff. But it works. It really amplifies, it activates, and you become connected. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. There's a connection.
Sherry Abdu says, wonderful meditation. Do you find the guided meditations help train the mind to sit in the silence? I find I go deeper with music rather than in silence.
So that it's different for every person, Sherry. It really is. Yeah, I would say the guided meditations help to train the mind to be still. That's really, and that's silence. It gives the mind focus. It gives it something to focus on, because sometimes we need something to focus on. Yeah. So we might have a picture of a beautiful, relaxed, beautiful garden or the ocean, calm ocean. It's just something for you to focus on, so you can go back to that silence, go back to the stillness.
Yeah. Lisa Jamuzian. James, I love your meditations. Thank you. I've been sprinkling in Kundalini Kurt on Kriya mantras to cleanse and heal. What's your opinion on mantra meditations?
So whatever works for you is what works for you. There's no right way or wrong way, I should say. But in the course, I discuss mantra meditations. Actually, one of the exercises is to have you write your own mantra. And then for the rest of the course, you use it in each exercise.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And you come up with your own mantra. And mine is healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I. I say it 3 times a day, and so it is. And in the course, I think it's lesson 7. You create your own mantra, because at that point you're aware of energy, you're aware of your soul self, you have the relationship with your soul, you know it's needed, you know it's empowerment. So at that point, you make that mantra, connects all of that stuff you learned previously, and it's a PowerPoint in the course.
That's great.
Gina, it's a great
that's
course.
Amazing, James.
Yeah.
You thought of everything in this.
I'm telling you, they did. They did.
It's all important. It's all important for your
Kellee,
growth
when I was
here.
channeling this or working, it was felt like an artboard, a piece of paper rolling over the artboard, a brand new piece of paper. And that's what it felt like when I started this course several years ago. It was just like brand new.
Here's a question. Do you think that on the other side, before you incarnated, that you already put this together?
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just
as soon as you said that, I actually had a vision of that.
Yeah, everything is created for us in spiritual realms, music and writings, and everything's created there first, theater, everything. But the material, it comes through the material. Yeah. That's the lower part of it. So yeah, I definitely believe that, Kellee, without a doubt. And the one thing in that meditation that I just did tonight with the rings of beings around, that's right from the course, but it's also that other part was not from the course, where it says there are other beings around them and beings around them. Because as I was doing it, I became aware of all those oracles, those spheres around each other, and it was that stepping the wave that's stepping down, which is the way it is, worlds within worlds, and all the spheres within spheres within spheres. One helps the other one, helps the other one, helps the other one. It's like a staircase.
Wow.
And we're here to bring it out to the world. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Gina Knapp, I was new to meditating and started experiencing things I was not expecting. I got a little scared. Could you talk a little bit about some things that you might experience when you're learning to meditate? For example, I started feeling emotions that were not mine and pound sounds in my head. I didn't understand it.
So let's give that for a second. I want to just go through this. I was new to meditating and started experiencing things I was not expecting completely, because you're opening up a different sense of awareness, a different sense of your consciousness. You're opening up a different perspective of yourself. So you will start seeing things and feeling things and knowing things different than you ever did before. So that's number one. Nothing to be scared of. There's a newness to it. So it's a control thing. We want to control the outcome. Nothing to control. You don't have to worry about that. Fear of the unknown. You already know your soul. You already know yourself. It's reconnecting with who you truly are. And through meditating, you open up the doorway to your true self. It's just yourself. It's deeper levels of who you are. Something when learning to meditate, certain things you might experience, that you might experience a feeling of being higher or bigger than you are. You expand yourself and you get smaller, smaller, smaller. You might experience temperature changes. You'll definitely experience a feeling of energy coming up your arm and down the other arm. And you'll feel the energy, the currents of energy, because we're all electrical beings. So you'll start being attuned to those energy feelings, those currents of energy flowing through you. And you become more aware of the different energy centers too, as you focus on it. And it just feels back to joy. And it just feels wow. It's like the mask is taken off, the curtain is undone, and you see yourself for who you truly are. I don't. How else can I describe?
No, that's a great description of it.
You have a deeper self of who you are. It's like, oh my God, that's who I am. You don't have to wait to die and get out of the physical body to have this experience.
Right. Right. So true. And there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, it's nothing to be afraid. Natural. It's natural.
Emotions will come up, because it might be yours, it might be someone else's. It's coming up to the heal. So the number one is awareness. What are these emotions telling you? They're cleaning out the space for you to get deeper into your soul. So that stuff is sitting there. You got to clean it out to get to the heart of the matter. And throughout the course, it's what to get to the heart of the matter. Not in judgment. What is the heart of the matter? Let's not waste time. Get to the heart of the matter. It's very interesting.
Oh my gosh. Shirley says, hi guys, I'm listening to you sitting outside and I had 5 hawks flying over me. Well, hawks are the male psychic, so that's a good thing.
Wow, very much so. That's amazing. I see hawks over my house all the time, 2 hawks.
Do you? Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Every day. Yeah, you're going to come out and visit me.
I'm going to see you soon.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Ellie says, James, you're a special person here to heal. Oh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So true.
I believe that. I do believe that. And however that's going to be, everything's going to show itself and reveal itself. You just got to let things roll. That Buddha's saying, you can't stop the river. You got to let it flow. Right. It's really true. You got to have the intention and let the divine source take it out as it's going to be, as they have a plan for. Right. It's when we caught up in the way, with the ego gets caught up, like, how do I get this out? Can I say this? That's when things get, the obstructions start.
Well, then you're not in the present moment.
No.
You're meditation does pull you right into who you are in that moment.
And I was discussing with my friend Chip this weekend, who brought the book, and he said at a Clear Blue, and at a Clear Blue just said this. And he goes, people aren't living if they're not in the moment.
I like that. Can I share that? He goes, yeah, that just came through me. I'm like, okay. And it's so true.
It's so true.
It brings you back to the moment. Yeah, it does.
It sure does. Oh my gosh. Anna Maria Ochoa says, I've had a pulsing in my solar plexus since the end of last year. It gets more intense when I listen to you or read spiritual books, but I'm also getting more intense when I'm anxious.
Well, obviously, it's activating your solar plexus.
Yeah.
So that's a major
Which is the third chakra, which is your power center, and also between the third and the fourth chakra. I mean, your soul's really expanding. Allow it to happen.
Yeah, and I just get a strong sense, Anna Maria, that you have to become aware of all the chakra points because they need to be in balance. So you need to have the same energy in the first chakra as you do the sixth chakra, seventh chakra, eighth chakra. You need to become aware of those energy points and that they're balanced, that they're integrated properly. Because you don't want over much energy in the power center. You want to be able to kind of integrate it evenly throughout.
Sinfinity, she says, would you say everyone here is broken, either mentally or physically or both, here on earth, so we can learn and grow? Or do souls come here without being broken to teach instead of learning? Oh, Sin,
Kelly, what do you think?
I think that we all come to earth to experience chaos, to throw us into situations so we can deal and learn to have compassion for ourselves, to learn how to heal, to learn how to be in balance.
Yeah, I think that we're there's no broken. We're whole.
We're whole. Yeah.
We forgot that. So we come back and we feel we're broken, but we have to go through various lessons and experiences to remember that we're whole.
And that's really key what you just said. We are whole.
We are whole. We come here whole. We come here full of love. And then human life happens and we start changing our minds and listening to other people and influencing.
And that's why meditation is so good to come back to yourself.
Fear, false ego appearing real. That's fear. So you need to get back to love. And that's what this is about, is get back to your soul self, that wholeness of who you are. And you remember the wholeness of who you are. And you have that joy, and joy is part of the journey. Journey. Joy is part of the journey.
I like that.
It's remembering that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's true.
Oh, please like and share this live streaming to help us grow our channel and grow our community.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Oh, James, and you have, an evening of spirit messages on July 26th.
Yes. I'm doing that again. I'm going to evening of spirit messages for everybody. And it's sonofvampire.com, and it's me doing a demonstration again. So
that's going to be great. Those are so much fun. And they're good for everybody.
They're so much fun. Everybody benefits. Yeah, everybody benefits. And what are you up to, Kelly?
Let's see.
Ask me anything Thursday.
Ask me anything on Thursdays. This Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Ask me anything. I cover psychology and astrology and psychic ability and mediumship and all of the above questions you might have.
And what do you think? What are most of the type of questions people ask you? More psychic or more astrology?
They want to know what's going on in their life. They want to know what's going on in their life.
More psychic.
A lot of psychic. But I'm happy to answer any of the questions that I can answer, it's a fun show. Yeah. It's interesting. And then I have some openings. I think 1 or 2 open on a Saturday in July. I'm going to work one Saturday before we go, James. And next thing you know, we're going to be gone. It happens very quickly. We're going to be on the cruise.
Very, very fast.
It's fast. It's coming up already.
I know.
Oh my God. And somebody asked, I think Aunt Margaret, you had asked about what to wear for Alaska. And I think dress in layers is what I'm hearing.
Right. Dress in layers, because it could be one port that's a little rainy and a little windy. So layers, and there's some places that are just very nice, and the temperature's like 70 degrees. It's really beautiful, but you never know there. So just be prepared. That's the best way.
Yeah, be prepared.
And it'll be kind of like a foresty kind of thing. The frontiers for you.
Oh my God.
There's a final frontier.
Oh my God. Seriously.
With trees behind you.
I do remember seeing the eagles. I loved watching the eagles when we were there.
Remember that?
There's not so much, but yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
So we're going to cure your bear scare.
Great.
The universe. So hopefully there'll be a bear there.
I'm sure there will be.
You can deal with your fear of that and put it to rest.
So Laura says, "Are you going to do your regular show from the ship?" No, we're not going to be able to. I'm going to
be fully ensconced and immersed in the spirit levels at that point, because I take people on a journey from day one, and it's consistent to the end. And even when you're out at port or whatever, it's still going to be part of their mind. That spark is still going to be there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be an extraordinary adventure. Wow. Wow, James.
Wow, 108 here in South Texas. Enjoy Alaska. Christy, wow. Soak up the beautiful weather. Wow, Christy, 108. Yeah, that's hot.
Oh my gosh.
I had a mom bear and 3 cubs on my back porch. Diane Rinaldi, Kelly. The universe is already manifested for you.
Seriously. Oh God. Can you imagine, James? We're gonna get off that ship and there's gonna be a bear.
Lisa that said, Kelly, I have PTSD from watching The Bear.
Okay, Okay, so let's just talk about it before we go. Okay, The Bear. If you haven't seen The Bear, the show, James, it's a greatest show, but you will have PTSD from it for sure. Sorry, Lisa, because it's about the most dysfunctional family that has ever existed. Except that I know many families like this.
I watched Succession. That was pretty bad.
Okay, and Succession is like billionaires and stuff, and it's great. I love Succession, but
it was great.
The Bear is it's so good. Best show
HBO,
ever.
Kelly, or Amazon, or what is it?
No, Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
I have to look. I probably do, but I'm not a techie.
Season 1, season 2, Hulu. It's phenomenal show. Sorry about the PTSD.
We'll be showing. Yes, the show repeats itself. This repeats itself throughout the week.
Yeah,
in our Facebook pages.
Yeah, and Renee will be here, and he'll be showing the different ones from us. But listen, everybody, have a great week, and James, have a great week.
Thanks,
and
Kelly.
That was
Thanks,
so
Renee.
so wonderful. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
That was great. Maybe we changed some lives.
And maybe opened up some minds.
Which way do I turn?
Right. I mean left.